I'd like to take a moment to introduce our Mayor of Nampa, Miss Debbie Kling.
Merrick, thank you so much. I tell you what, you are so amazing, and you look so cute today. So cute today. I have loved the conversations that I've gotten to have just sitting at the table and visiting before I'm here to speak. And I just want to say, first of all, thank you, Rick, for inviting me today. John, thank you so much for inviting me to join you today. And as I come to share with you for just a couple of minutes, I want to say that I have been inspired just thinking about today and prepping for it. So I have notes only because I don't want to forget something, but I would rather not speak from notes. But so we'll be a little bit of whatever. You know what? Today we're going to talk about a couple of things. We are going to talk a little bit about affordable housing, but just a little bit. But it really is about affordable housing is a topic that is critical across the entire nation. I do a survey with Boston University each year, and it was interesting this year, all the survey questions were about affordable housing. And I'm thinking it's an Idaho deal because how many of you live here? Do most of you live here? Okay, so you know what's happened. How many have lived here at least 10 years? A whole bunch of you. Yeah, you got it. So we all know what's happened to our market. It has changed considerably, and we're concerned about our kids and the opportunity to have affordable housing. But it's getting less affordable, and the solution is not easy. So we're going to talk a minute about your core values, and what I'm thinking is, man, we got to use these core values to get to a solution because we need solutioneers in the room when we're talking about affordable housing and how to get it done because it's not easy. You know what? It is easy for government to get stale and stagnant. And at the city of Nampa, you know what? I talk to the leaders and our directors at every meeting about thinking outside of the box, about innovation. We talk about truth. Truth is 100%. It's not 99% with one little fudge over here. It's 100%. We talk about our core values of integrity and stewardship and teamwork. But I will say, Rick, Merrick, you guys inspire me because as I sit and look at your core values, the fact that you have been able to take this to a place where you're walking it out, that is hard. It is not easy. And went to the restroom, saw the little signs inside those stalls. I thought, I need to do that because they're inspirational. Right? Because it's in front of us, right? All the time. And so you guys have inspired me. So today I'm going to talk for just a couple minutes, but I really am going to go through these values and talk about them just a little bit, if you don't mind. First of all, game changers, right? By making smart construction brilliant, we're actively pushing the limits of modern day technology. Well, I tell you what, at city government at Nampa, one of the things that we talk about, and I love this, it's actively, action word, pushing the limits of modern, and I'm going to say technology, right? We all need to be doing that every day. So as I sat and read this, it's inspiring. But you know what, as I was thinking about it, one of the challenges that we face, and you guys probably face the same thing, employees, keeping your employees. It's hard to retain employees. I don't know about this market. Well, the construction world, I know it's hard to retain employees. At the city, it's hard to retain employees. And the other thing is sometimes we have employees that they can get burned out because they work so hard. Your next core value of family members, oh my goodness. Solutioneers practice self-care and care for each other. And then having a mindset that's positive, peaceful, inspired, driven towards quality. But this next piece is so important, not only for ourselves, but for the families our products touch. And you know what? What I wrote down was, what can happen when a group of people care, they boldly take action, and it's not just for themselves, but it's for others. Does anybody feel like I do, that it's like we need a society that goes there? right? We are in a season in history that we are in such a conflicted place, both politically and non-politically. It's just a conflicted space. And I think about these principles and what you guys are talking about as a company and with all your partners. You realize the power of this group when you walk out the door and you carry a message, but the message goes beyond just the workplace. It goes into the lives of your employees. Because you care, they're going to turn around and also care. And that is so important. And then the next one, when you're talking about the owners, this one's big. And I think about it as a leader with employees. And my guess is most of you have employees in your leading organizations, empowering people to boldly take action to improve processes. That is so important. And it's a little scary sometimes, isn't it? How many of you supervise others? Probably most of the people in the room, I would think. If you do, you know that. It's hard to lead. It's scary to boldly, right, to empower people to boldly take action, but it's critical because it's the only way that you can do what you're doing. And I love it. And then being a solutioneer, this is the innovation side, requires unrivaled vision, innovation, and execution. So each year at the city, I kind of have a theme. One year, my theme was to execute. And I had to say, it's not to execute each other. We're executing on what we're getting done. Be really clear about that. But you can have a vision, you can be innovative, but if you don't execute, it's a whole different thing. And so, you know what I'm thinking about is the gifts and the talents that make up a team. And those gifts and talents are sitting in this room. Not everybody has the same gift and talent. How many of you are in sales? Or a few? Yep, a whole bunch of sales here. And then we had those that are, how many of you are senior leaders? A few of them are senior leaders. So, you know, it takes, and then how many, do we have any finance people in here? Few finance people in here. I know, you know what, our CFO kind of keeps me, like, they're the ones that are saying, okay, you got to do this, right? It takes everybody. It takes everybody, but for every individual with their different talent to be able to be released, to boldly take action and to give input and feel like they can, that's how we get to an incredible place like this company, Autovol, is in. And then lastly, the solutioneers that arrive every day, which are our employees, inspired and focused on solutions. I tell you, as I sat and thought about that, and I thought about where we need to go both as a nation, as a local community, in the realm of affordable housing, I will say the affordable housing crisis, it is a crisis. And that is not really an understatement. I said in a meeting with a number of leaders the other day, and we have an affordable housing legislative committee here in Idaho that's talking about what to do, how to address it. Candidly, it's really scary for me for the legislature to mandate a solution because I don't know that it's going to be the right solution. So it takes business. And Rick, we need to continue to talk because we've talked about it. I'm remiss because it's like, I know we need affordable housing right here. How do we get it done? But how we're going to get it done is when we apply the core values that this company stands for, and we enter into a discussion that is innovative. We're thinking outside the box, but we're giving space for people to share their ideas in a safe place. We together can come up with a solution. But it takes that. And so I just want to start by applauding you for the work that you're doing and standing true. And then I'll be done in just a second. I'll say a couple more things. So one thing that I saw when I walked into this building when you were brand new, and it was the values that were evidenced in every detail. So I think about the front desk and the conference room table. Why that was meaningful to me was that the message in that is honoring the heritage of this property. Have you guys seen that? You've seen the conference room and the front desk and how that is done. But it reflects learning from our past while repurposing what was used, right, into what can become. And that principle is powerful. Not letting go of what's behind us, but repurposing what we have and then looking at what it can become. And you did that so beautifully. And I love the example of that in this building. And then the break area for the employees that reflects what you value, which is your people. So, it's the subtle things that are important. So as you all go back and you think about that, it's the subtle things, they're subtleties that do mean a lot. And then when we innovate, right, like this, it permeates everything we do and who we are. And so I would encourage you to hold fast to being leaders of your industry. And then there's a quote, and I love this quote, but it's few people can be successful unless a lot of others want them to be. We cannot succeed alone. And when we lift others up, we're all lifted up, right? So for the suppliers here, I just want to say that Autovol can't succeed without you. But your success is also tied to Autovol and the other companies that you serve. And when we come together as a team, as a family, it's more than a transaction. And I think sometimes in life we're transactional, and it's more than that. And it's believing in what we're getting up to do each day. And it's bigger. It's creating something bigger than ourselves. So I'm trusting that as we move forward, and I love your core values, that we can apply the principles that we're talking about today as we look to affordable housing and the solutions that we have got to come to, because it's not easy. And it takes collaboration and working together in a lot of different realms. It's the developers, it's the local jurisdictions that all come together to get it done. And I'm going to leave you with one thought as I end. It's a story, and this is kind of my thought for the week. So the other day, I have a tree behind my house, and it's growing these little things out of the ground. And it's like, one year I cut them off, and then I thought, well, maybe it's growing like a new tree next to the old tree, and maybe that's a good thing. And I talked to our parks department, and they said, those are suckers. You don't want them. Cut them. Well, I let them kind of grow, thinking I'm curious what it's going to turn into. So when I went out there to cut them down, if I had cut them when they were little, it would have been really easy. But instead, they kind of got bigger, and it was a little harder to cut it down. And as I was out cutting those suckers off the tree, I thought about life. What suckers do I have in my life? These are things that I think might be good. They don't seem to be bad, are they? But that truly what they said is the suckers suck the life out of the existing tree. So it's like, so what are the suckers that I have in my life that are sucking the life out? So we all are really busy. There's a lot of demands on our lives. And one of the things that I think about is what is quietly and possibly invisibly, right, sucking vibrancy, time, productivity, or simply just pulling the life out of me, and I don't even recognize it. So I just want to encourage you to think about that today, because to be innovative, to be our best, to continue to push forward when profit margins, everything is tight. It is not easy. And we can be innovative. We can do everything we can do to be our very best. But then sometimes there's something little that maybe goes unnoticed, that is really pulling from us. So I just want to leave, that's my thought for this week that I'm thinking about. And I thought I would share it with you as you go about your week, to think about what is it in my life that I need to probably go cut down. Don't let it get too big, because it's kind of hard to cut down. Anyway. So when I cut those suckers off the tree, I will say it looked so much better, and it was very freeing. So you guys have a great day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this incredible story. Rick, thank you. Thank you for your leadership, for your innovation, for living out what this document that we have all gotten to follow actually says. And Merrick, thank you for being fun. Thank you. You guys have a great day. Thank you.
Mayor Kling, thank you so much. She's got a city to run, and she's here with us, right? That's a big sacrifice. I really do appreciate that. And I love that your description of the coin. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. Solutioneers. Who's got these? We carry them every day. Every day we carry them everywhere we go because this is who we are. This is what we live by, right? Because we believe all those core values are something that's real and that can be passed. I'll tell you something about our mayor. She's a doer. She's an innovator. She's a thinker. She's a person that gets things done, and she does it in a way that brings crowds together to support, right? I remember when we first built this plant, right down the road here, all of us packed into this house trying to get something done. We got this big, beautiful plant sitting here with no internet. And we can't get internet because we had another group that was being stubborn about letting us get the internet through to our building. I made one phone call to somebody I thought I could trust that might help. And that was this Mayor Kling. And 4 days later, here we come. We're moving into our office. Everything's moving. Everything's done. She does that constantly. She's a huge part of our Chamber of Commerce. We love her. We follow her. And she has all the values that we believe in. And we discussed it. And so I'd like to present you with a coin.
Thank you.
That's not just any coin that you pull out. They're all numbered. Yeah, your number is 118. And we're so thankful to be able to give that to you because we believe you support everything we believe in.
That is so special.
Thank you. You bet.